Tell me about this labor commissioner now order awarding $135,000 to the lesbian couple for, quote, emotional suffering. Where does that stand? What do you intend to do there? Do you have any recourse? And what happens if this continues? What do you do?
Well, obviously, the first thing we do is we say, this doesn't stand. Constitutional freedoms will not be stripped away. We're going to fight. That's an appellate court. We're going to have to get it outside of the jurisdiction of an administrative law court, which I don't know how familiar you or your listeners are with those, but should not exist under the Constitution because they do not recognize the Constitution. So we have an issue there at face value. We have an issue with a commissioner who is an elected official who holds all the cards. He is a judge, jury, and executioner. We're going to fight that. We're going to take it outside of his jurisdiction. We're going to move to a place where we can have constitutional freedoms recognized. In the meantime, we have to get a stay. Unfortunately, the first person to get to look at that issue is, again, Brad Avakian. So I don't hold out a whole lot of hope there, but I've been surprised before, and who knows, God can change a heart. So we're going to pray about that, and hopefully that will work out. If not, we'll take it to an appellate judge and see if we can't get some remedy there. But no, we're going to fight. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to look at every avenue. We're going to look at everything we can do. And I've said it before, Avakian, he messed with the wrong Christians. We are not the kind that will just roll over and lay down. We were not given a spirit of timidness. We're bold for the sake of Christ, and we will fight for our rights. And not just our rights, but every American that lives and breathes in this country right now. They have rights, and we're fighting that we can maintain those rights for everybody.
Well, I think that's a key there, and I love that you say that. And I talked to Tamara Colbert, one of our contributors, about that before, and she's the same way about, so often you say, why does it seem that everybody is for certain things and Christians, are put to the back? And I said, that's because so many Christians are very quiet, go about their business and feel, well, I shouldn't do that. I'll pray and I'll, try to talk about it, with my family or with others. And meantime, you have the Al Sharptons of the world. You have the gay activists of the world. They have the microphone. They have the camera on them. And meantime, a lot of Christians aren't out there screaming and yelling and saying, hey, you know what? I'm wearing the armor. God's on our side on this. I'm telling you what we're going to do, and we're going to keep it going. And I think that people also like that passion that you're showing. It's really encouraging, especially for other Christians, because a lot of people, and you can understand, feel down with what's been going on over the last few years in this country, because it just seems, from Chick-fil-A to your situation to the Supreme Court to everything out of Obama, Christians are slammed again and again and again. And you start to feel you're outnumbered if you just sat there and looked at social media all day or just looked at, the mainstream media. But that's not the case when you sit down and just talk to people, because there's a lot of common sense. But I think a lot of people are afraid to, stand up to the loudmouths.
I think we have an issue where we've allowed the culture to sway the church. We're backwards on this one. The church was put in place to sway the culture, and we need to start doing that again. I mean, we're called to be salt and light. How can we be salt and light if we keep what we have hidden inside the four walls of the church? We have to be involved. We have to be involved. And quite honestly, I'm saying this: we need to get involved for the matter of this. You're not going to change the country by voting in the right people and trying to legislate morality. You got to change the hearts of men, and Christ is in the business of doing that, and we need to preach the gospel.
And this transcends so much. I mean, we're talking about cakes, and cakes are one of my favorite things. Truth be told, cards on the table here. Ask my family, when a cake comes in the house, it doesn't get past me for long. But I'll tell you, I'll tell you this though, it transcends so much, because you just talked about you got to change hearts, and one of the other things that we've seen lately, and this goes to free speech and goes to where you stand, and also freedom of expression, is the Confederate flag issue. And where did that stem from? Because someone who obviously didn't have Christ in his life went and shot up a Christian church and took people out. What are they after? Guns. What are they after? A flag. Instead of after the two things they should really be after, which is what you just hit on, changing hearts, and secondly, mental issues, mental health, and trying to go after these problems before they erupt into this. People are scared to say that. I saw someone the other day post something online, and it was, along the lines of, we have to ban this, we have to get rid of this, we have to stop this. And my reaction right away was, wait a minute, you don't think a godless society, a secular society that's pushed on our children, that's pushed in public schools, that's pushed on television at adults, forget about just children, that's where it is. When God is out of the equation, that's rough stuff. I mean, just look at simple things. When an athlete, Tebow, of course, but even like on a smaller scale, the Warriors have a lot of Christians who just won the NBA title. Whenever they start to talk about God, the reporter just immediately gets away from that and says, but tell me about the basketball. It's not even looked at. But meantime, you have the women's soccer team, and the fact that you have 4 out lesbian players on that team. Oh, that's wonderful, and that's a top lead story. So it's a problem with what people read, and every day in their newspapers.
I look at it and I go, hey, just think about this. What if we all live by the 10 Commandments, okay? And even if you didn't want to adhere to number 1, which I think is utterly important, which is you shall have no other gods before me, but we'll just say the other 9. Let's live by those as a society.
So you're still giving them Obama and the recycling bottles. They could still have that, right?
Yeah, but everything else. Oh, that'd be horrible. Don't kill, don't lie, don't steal.
Yeah,
don't
right, it's good stuff.
Oh, man, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you see this when you see, it used to be you're supposed to tolerate folks. Now everything must be accepted through this liberal, mind police. And it's not just with religion, not just with Christians, but what you just talked about there, atheists, for example, offended. We have to get rid of every cross, every Christmas tree, every 10 Commandments, which is something talked about in another state right now. And it's amazing that you're to that point, and you're right. They're bashing a book, they're bashing a Bible that, those things, kind of make sense no matter where you think on the first one. That's well put, Aaron.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you the best. We're praying for you guys, and like I said, I looked at your products too online. It looks like you do it. My daughter just had a birthday, and she had an elaborate cake. It was half Barbie and half baseball. That's how she rolls. A few years ago, she had the Tebow / My Little Pony cake. So that's her deal. But I thought of that when I looked up your stuff, and you guys do great work. And obviously, as Aaron mentioned, Melissa is blessed by God with your talent. It's tremendous, and
thank you.
We just hope this works out. If it's going to work out anywhere, and if the precedent's going to turn, and if people are going to stand up, it's going to be people like you who aren't afraid to take it head on. And when you have a lot to lose, the family and a business and things with finance is important, obviously, to live a comfortable life, and it's courageous. We're told Bruce Jenner is courageous. We're told a lot of people are brave and courageous. Not Chris Kyle, Barack Obama. We're waiting on that, but you guys, in our mind, are courageous for doing this, and you would think you wouldn't be, because this seems pretty standard. But in this day and age of inadequacy, you doing what you're supposed to do looks pretty extraordinary right now. And we thank you more than anything, and are rooting for you. And anything we can do, please stay with us and stay in touch.
Well, thank you so much.
I could say, the main thing is hey, everybody needs to stand up. You're right now. You're on the air. You got First Amendment rights. You're speaking. That can be stripped away. We got to watch out for this. We all got to stand up. And I'm talking in every aspect of life. We can take a stand for freedom, and that's what we need to be doing.
All right. They are Aaron Klein and Melissa Klein, the owners of Sweet Cakes in Oregon. And we're hoping and praying and wishing for the best for you. And anybody, if you're in that area, check them out. Head on over, grab a cake, see what you got. I'm telling you, get some more stuff online. I'll be ordering. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For more on Sweet Cakes by Melissa and their awesome quality products, visit sweetcakesweb.com. This past week, Sarah Palin had a special message for one of our great first ladies. Palin wrote on Facebook, "Happy birthday, Mrs. Reagan. Thank you for all you have done for our country." Nancy Reagan turned 94 on July 6th. To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA, and check out sarahpalinchannel.com.